Welcome, dear listeners, to our episode that delves into the enchanting world of Spira, from the beloved video game Final Fantasy X. Tonight, we'll explore the ancient history of this mystical realm and the events that unfolded long before a young blitzball star named Tidus washed up on the shores of Bhed Island. So settle in, get cozy, and let the lulling sounds of Spira's oceans and the gentle whispers of pyreflies carry you off to a peaceful slumber as we unravel this captivating tale. Our story begins over 1,000 years before Tidus's journey, in an era of great peace and advancement known as the Age of Prosperity. It was a time when the people of Spira lived in harmony with each other and with the land itself. Wondrous cities stretched towards the heavens, built upon ancient knowledge and the arts of Machina, a technology that harnessed the power of gears, electricity, and the life energy flowing through all of Spira. Magnificent machines eased the burdens of daily life, allowing the citizens to focus on cultural and spiritual pursuits. The most glorious of these cities was Zanarkand, a shimmering metropolis cradled by the sea. It was here that the art of blitzball was born, a wondrous underwater sport that captured the hearts of Spirans far and wide. Under the wise guidance of Yu Yevon, Zanarkand's leader, the city flourished into a beacon of hope and enlightenment for all of Spira. Alas, the age of prosperity was not to last. As the cities grew and prospered, a rift began to form between those who embraced the Machina and those who feared the power it granted. Tensions rose until finally, the two sides clashed in a terrible conflict that would come to be known as the Machina War. On one side stood the technologically advanced cities of Bhed and Zanarkand, their armies bolstered by towering Machina weapons that shook the very earth with each step. On the other, the city of Yevon and its allies, who believed that reliance on Machina had led Spira astray from the teachings of the gods. For months, the war raged across the land and sea, leaving devastation in its wake. The once great cities crumbled, and the lush fields of Spira were stained with the blood of the fallen. In the end, neither side emerged victorious, and the machina of each were left scattered and broken. In the aftermath of the war, as the people of Spira struggled to rebuild, a new threat emerged from the depths of despair. Yu Yevon, desperate to save his beloved Zanarkand from destruction, turned to an ancient and forbidden summoning ritual. However, something went terribly wrong, and instead of a benevolent guardian, Yu Yevon brought forth a monstrous entity of pure chaos and destruction. Sin. Sin rampaged across Spira, obliterating the remnants of the Machina cities, decimating entire coastlines with massive waves, and leaving nothing but sorrow and ruin behind. The people, broken and scattered, turned to the teachings of Yevon for salvation, seeing sin as divine punishment for their reliance on Machina. In the annals of Spira's history, few figures loom as large, or cast as long a shadow as the enigmatic and tragic Yu Yevon, a man of immense power and influence. Yu Yevon's legacy is one of both great achievement and terrible consequence, a testament to the heights of human ambition and the depths of our capacity for self-destruction. Born into a time of great prosperity and progress, Yu Yevon was a visionary leader who sought to guide his people into a new era of enlightenment and wonder. As the ruler of the great city of Zanarkand, he presided over a golden age of art, culture, and technological advancement, his wisdom and benevolence earning him the love and respect of his subjects. Yet for all his virtues, Yu Yevon was also a man haunted by his own fears and doubts. As the Machina War raged across Spira and the spectre of annihilation loomed ever closer, he became increasingly obsessed with the idea of preserving his beloved city at any cost. In his desperation, he turned to the forbidden arts of summoning, seeking to create a dream world where Zanarkand could live on forever, untouched by the ravages of time and war. Through a complex and terrible ritual, Yu Yevon sacrificed the lives of his people, transforming them into faith and binding their souls to a massive wall of crystal beneath the city. With their dream power, he conjured into being a new Zanarkand, a fantastical realm where the glories of the past could endure for all eternity. But the price of this dark magic was higher than even Yu Yevon could have imagined. In his final moments, as the city of his birth crumbled around him and the armies of Bhed closed in, he was consumed by the very power he had sought to control. His mind and soul were twisted beyond recognition, his once noble purpose perverted into an endless cycle of death and destruction. And so, with his dying breath, Yu Yevon unleashed the horror of sin upon the world, a monstrous entity born of his own madness and despair. For 1,000 years, sin would ravage the land of Spira, bringing untold suffering and sorrow to generations of its people. And at the heart of this nightmare, the spirit of Yu Yevon endured, a broken husk of a man, forever doomed to summon forth the beast that had become his own twisted reflection. The legacy of Yu Yevon is one of hubris and tragedy, a cautionary tale of the dangers of unchecked power and the terrible price of our dreams. Yet even in the darkest depths of his madness, there is a strange and haunting beauty to be found. For in the end, he sacrificed everything he was, everything he had ever loved, in the name of a dream that would endure long after the last stones of Zanarkand had crumbled to dust. A dream of a world without end, where the wonders of the past could live on forever, shining bright against the darkness of an uncertain future. As we journey across the vast world of Spira, we encounter a rich tapestry of regions and cultures, each with its own unique traditions, beliefs, and ways of life. From the sun-drenched tropical islands to the snow-capped mountains, let's explore the diversity and depth of this fascinating realm. We begin our voyage in the lush, verdant Isle of Bhed, a peaceful paradise nestled in the southern seas. Known for its stunning beaches, vibrant foliage, and ancient temple, Bhed is home to a small but close-knit community of farmers, fishermen, and artisans. The people here live a simple life, deeply rooted in the traditions of Yevon. They are warm, welcoming, and always ready to lend a helping hand to weary travelers. It is in this tranquil village that many summoners, including the gentle and determined Yuna, begin their sacred pilgrimage to defeat sin. Heading eastward, we arrive at the lively port city of Luca, a bustling hub of commerce, entertainment, and sports. Luca boasts the grandest blitzball stadium in all of Spira, where passionate fans from every corner of the world gather to cheer on their favorite teams. The city's winding streets are lined with colorful shops, lively taverns, and open-air markets, offering a dizzying array of goods from across the land. From the docks, ships of all sizes come and go, ferrying goods and passengers to distant shores. Despite its cosmopolitan air, Luca remains deeply connected to the traditions of Spira, with grand temples and solemn ceremonies coexisting alongside the vibrant energy of the city. As we journey inland, we find ourselves on the well-worn path of the Mehen High Road, a vital artery connecting the southern islands to the heart of the mainland. This ancient road, named after the legendary warrior Mehen, is dotted with small outposts, inns, and ruins that whisper of Spira's long and often tumultuous history. Chocobos, large flightless birds that serve as faithful steeds, can be seen carrying riders and goods along the winding trail. The high road is a place of encounters and farewells, where travelers from all walks of life cross paths, share stories, and forge bonds that may last a lifetime. Venturing further north, we enter the ethereal beauty of Macalania Woods, an enchanted forest shimmering with crystalline trees and luminous pools. The air here seems to pulse with an otherworldly energy, as pyreflies dance among the branches, and the haunting strains of an ancient melody echo through the mist. The woods are said to be a place of secrets and spirits, where the boundary between the living and the dead grows thin. It is here that the mighty Macalania temple stands, a bastion of Yevon's teachings, and a trial that all summoners must face on their journey to obtain the powerful Aeon, Shiva. High in the frigid peaks of Mount Gagazet, we encounter the proud and fierce Ronso tribe, a race of lion-like humanoids known for their strength, honor, and unwavering loyalty. The Ronso are the guardians of the sacred mountain, entrusted with protecting the ancient trials that summoners must overcome to reach Zanarkand. Theirs is a harsh and unforgiving life, shaped by the relentless cold and the unyielding stone of their mountain home. Yet despite their gruff exterior, the Ronso possess a deep wisdom and a fierce devotion to their duty. They are steadfast allies to those who prove their worth, and formidable adversaries to any who would threaten the sanctity of Gagazet. And at last, we come to the legendary city of Zanarkand, a once glorious metropolis, now reduced to haunting ruins. In ages past, Zanarkand was a beacon of technology and culture, where the arts of Machina and Blitzball flourished under the wise rule of Yu Yevon. But now, its crumbling towers and shattered streets stand as a grim testament to the destructive power of sin. Yet even in its desolation, Zanarkand remains a place of pilgrimage and reverence, for it is here that the final Aeon awaits those summoners, brave and determined enough to complete their journey. Amidst the ruins, the pyreflies dance, and the memories of a lost civilization linger, whispering of a tragic past and an uncertain future. These are but a few of the many wonders that await the intrepid explorer in the world of Spira. From the tropical paradise of Bhed to the icy heights of Gagazet, each region holds its own unique challenges, mysteries, and rewards. As we continue our journey through the history and lore of this enchanting realm, let the diverse cultures and landscapes of Spira paint a vivid backdrop for the epic tale about to unfold. Let's turn to the history of this world. In the aftermath of the devastating war and the emergence of sin, the people of Spira turned to the teachings of Yevon for guidance and hope. This religion, named after the great city that stood against Bhed in the Machina War, became the dominant faith across the land, shaping the beliefs, customs, and daily lives of Spirans for generations to come. At the heart of Yevon's teachings lies the concept of sin as divine punishment for the hubris and folly of mankind. According to this doctrine, it was the excessive use of machina and the reliance on worldly technology that brought about the great destruction and the birth of sin. Only through atonement, self-sacrifice, and strict adherence to the precepts of Yevon could humanity hope to find redemption and, ultimately, liberation from sin's relentless cycle of destruction. Central to this path of atonement are the summoners, individuals of great courage and faith who undertake sacred pilgrimages across the land to attain the power of the final Aeon, the only force capable of defeating sin, albeit temporarily. Summoners are highly revered figures in Spiran society, seen as the embodiment of hope and the key to the calm, the brief period of peace that follows each defeat of sin. To become a summoner, one must first undergo rigorous training in the temples of Yevon, mastering the art of summoning Aeons, powerful spirits of yore that aid them in their battles against sin and its spawn. Each temple is home to a specific Aeon, a dream of the faith, the souls of the faithful who willingly gave their lives to serve as eternal guardians of Spira. The path of a summoner is a perilous and self-sacrificing one, as they must not only face the physical dangers of their pilgrimage, but also come to terms with the ultimate price they must pay to bring about the calm. For, in the end, it is only through the summoner's supreme act of self-sacrifice, the giving of their life to summon the final Aeon, that sin can be vanquished and a temporary peace restored to the land. Accompanying the summoners on their journey are their guardians, sworn protectors who devote their lives to ensuring the safety and success of their charges. Guardians are often skilled warriors, but their role extends far beyond mere combat prowess. They serve as confidants, advisors, and emotional anchors for the summoners, helping them navigate the trials and tribulations of their quest, both physical and spiritual. Together, summoners and their guardians form an unbreakable bond, a fellowship forged in the fires of shared hardship and an unwavering commitment to their sacred duty. It is through their sacrifices, their faith, and their indomitable spirit that the people of Spira find the strength to endure in the face of sin's unrelenting terror, clinging to the hope that one day the eternal calm will finally dawn and the cycle of destruction will be broken forevermore. Amidst the teachings of Yevon and the widespread fear and mistrust of Machina, one group in Spira has long suffered from discrimination and oppression: the Bhed. This technologically adept and resourceful people have chosen to reject the teachings of Yevon and continue to embrace the use of Machina, seeing it as a means of improving their lives and combating the threat of sin. The Bhed's unique culture, language, and distinctive spiral-pupilled green eyes set them apart from the rest of Spira's population, making them easy targets for prejudice and hostility. Many Spirans, deeply influenced by Yevon's teachings, view the Bhed as heretics and bringers of misfortune, blaming them for the continued existence of sin and the suffering it inflicts upon the world. This deep-seated prejudice has led to the marginalization and exclusion of the Bhed from mainstream Spiran society. They are often forced to live in isolated, hidden communities scattered across the land, such as the desert-bound home, where they can practice their customs and pursue their technological innovations away from the judgmental eyes of Yevonites. Despite the hardships they face, the Bhed remain a resilient and determined people, using their skills and ingenuity to survive in a hostile world. They are expert salvagers, scouring the depths of the ocean for ancient machina and lost technology, which they then repurpose and adapt to their needs. They have also developed a unique system of writing and a secret language, allowing them to communicate freely without fear of being understood by outsiders. Yet even in the face of constant discrimination, some Bhed have sought to bridge the gap between their people and the rest of Spira. Later in our story, Riku, a young Bhed girl who becomes one of Yuna's guardians, embodies this spirit of unity and understanding. Through her friendship with Yuna and the other guardians, Riku challenges the prejudices and stereotypes that divide Spira, proving that the Bhed are as worthy of respect and compassion as any other people. As the story of Final Fantasy X unfolds, the fate of the Bhed becomes increasingly intertwined with that of Spira as a whole. Their technological prowess and unconventional thinking prove crucial in the battle against sin, challenging long-held beliefs and forcing Spirans to confront the limitations of their faith. In the end, the Bhed's struggle for acceptance and equality serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of tolerance, diversity, and the courage to forge one's own path in the face of adversity. As we delve deeper into the history and lore of Spira, we come to one of the most enigmatic and tragic aspects of Final Fantasy X's story, the tale of two Zanarkands. The first is the Zanarkand of ancient times, the glorious city of Machina and summoners that was destroyed during the Machina War. The second is the Dream Zanarkand, a surreal and timeless recreation of the city, conjured into existence by the power of Yu Yevon summoning. In the aftermath of the Machina War, as the real Zanarkand lay in ruins and sin began its rampage across Spira, Yu Yevon, the city's leader, found himself unable to accept the destruction of his beloved home. Desperate to preserve Zanarkand's legacy, he crafted an audacious plan to summon a dream version of the city where the souls of its inhabitants could live on in a state of eternal bliss, untouched by the horrors of war and sin. To achieve this, Yu Yevon gathered the surviving citizens of Zanarkand and transformed them into entities called the Faith, with their souls bonded to a massive wall of crystal beneath the ruins of the real city. Through their collective dreaming, they gave shape and substance to the dream Zanarkand, a fantastical realm where the past and present intertwined, and the cycle of life and death held no sway. In this dream Zanarkand, the star blitzball player Tidus and his father Jecht lived out their lives, unaware of the true nature of their world or the role they would come to play in Spira's destiny. For Tidus, dream Zanarkand was the only reality he had ever known, a vibrant and carefree existence centered around the thrill of blitzball and the adoration of his fans. However, the dream Zanarkand was not a true paradise, but rather a gilded cage, a false refuge sustained by the unending sacrifice of the faith. As long as sin existed, the faith were trapped in an endless cycle of dreaming, their souls unable to find peace in the Farplane. And as long as dream Zanarkand endured, Spira was doomed to suffer under the terror of sin, the product of Yu Yevon's twisted summoning. It is only through the actions of Tidus, Yuna, and their companions that the truth of the two Zanarkands is finally brought to light. As they unravel the secrets of Spira's past and confront the reality of sin's origin, they come to understand the terrible price that has been paid for the illusion of dream Zanarkand's existence. In the end, to defeat sin and break the cycle of suffering, the heroes must make the painful decision to sever the bond between the faith and dream Zanarkand, allowing the dreaming souls to finally find rest. As the dream Zanarkand fades away, so too does Tidus, a bittersweet symbol of the ephemeral nature of dreams and the sacrifices that must be made for the greater good. The tale of the two Zanarkands stands as a powerful metaphor for the central themes of Final Fantasy X: the weight of the past, the allure of illusions, and the necessity of letting go in order to move forward. It is a story of love and loss, of sacrifice and redemption, and of the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of even the darkest of destinies. In the world of Spira, death is not the end, but rather a transition to a realm known as the Farplane. This ethereal dimension serves as the final resting place for the souls of the deceased, a place of eternal peace and reunion with loved ones lost. Central to the concept of the Farplane are the mysterious and ubiquitous entities known as pyreflies. Pyreflies are the essence of life and death in Spira, the glowing ethereal wisps that contain the memories and emotions of those who have passed on. When a person dies, their soul is released from their body in the form of pyreflies, which then make their way to the Farplane. There, the pyreflies coalesce, forming the spectral images of the deceased that can be visited and communed with by the living. The Farplane is not merely a place of rest and remembrance, but also a source of great spiritual significance for the people of Spira. It is believed that through the guidance of the pyreflies, the living can gain insight, closure, and even the strength to carry on in the face of loss and hardship. Summoners, in particular, draw upon the power of the pyreflies to call forth the mighty spiritual guardians that aid them in their battle against sin. However, the pyreflies are not always a benevolent force. When a person dies an unclean death, racked with intense negative emotions such as anger, fear, or regret. Their pyreflies may linger in the realm of the living, unable to find peace in the Farplane. Over time, these unsent pyreflies can coalesce into fiends, the monstrous creatures that plague the lands of Spira and serve as a constant reminder of the dangers of an unclean death. To combat this threat, the people of Spira perform the Sending, a sacred ritual conducted by summoners to guide the souls of the recently deceased to the Farplane. Through dance and prayer, the summoner coaxes the pyreflies to leave the body and begin their journey to the afterlife, ensuring that they do not linger and transform into fiends. Throughout the story of Final Fantasy X, the Farplane and pyreflies serve as powerful symbols of the cyclical nature of life and death, the weight of memory and emotion, and the importance of finding peace and closure in the face of loss. As Tidus, Yuna, and their companions navigate the challenges of their journey, they must confront not only the physical dangers that beset them, but also the emotional and spiritual trials that arise from their encounters with the pyreflies and the Farplane. In the end, the tale of the Farplane and pyreflies serves as a poignant reminder of the interconnectedness of all things in Spira and the power of love, sacrifice, and remembrance to transcend even the boundaries of life and death. It is a testament to the enduring nature of the human spirit and the hope that guides us through even the darkest of times. Let's turn to the snow-capped peaks of Mount Gagazet, as there, the sacred mountain that marks the northern boundary of Spira, dwells a proud and fierce tribe called the Ronso. These noble, lion-like humanoids are known throughout the land for their unwavering strength, honor, and loyalty. Deeply spiritual and closely attuned to the rhythms of the natural world, the Ronso have long served as the guardians of Gagazet and the ancient secrets it holds. The Ronso culture is one steeped in tradition, ritual, and a profound respect for the power of the mountain. They believe that Gagazet is the embodiment of the spirit of their ancestors, a living testament to the trials and triumphs of the Ronso people throughout history. The mountain is not merely a place of physical challenge and spiritual significance, but also a repository of the tribe's collective wisdom and memory. Central to Ronso identity is the concept of the Ronso Way, a code of honor and duty that governs every aspect of their lives. The Ronso Way emphasizes strength, courage, and an unwavering commitment to the protection of the tribe and the sanctity of the mountain. It is through adherence to this code that the Ronso believe they can attain spiritual enlightenment and harmony with the forces that shape the world of Spira. The Ronso are also known for their powerful physique and their mastery of combat arts. From a young age, Ronso children are trained in the ways of the warrior, honing their skills in hand-to-hand combat, spear fighting, and the harnessing of their innate spiritual energy. This martial prowess, combined with their unwavering loyalty and sense of honor, has made the Ronso invaluable allies to the summoners and guardians who seek to defeat sin. Among the most famous and respected of the Ronso is Kimahri Ronso, a mighty warrior who serves as a guardian to Yuna on her pilgrimage. Despite being smaller in stature than his fellow Ronso, Kimahri embodies the noblest aspects of the Ronso Way, displaying unwavering courage, loyalty, and a fierce determination to protect those he holds dear. As the story of Final Fantasy X unfolds, the Ronso and their sacred mountain play a crucial role in the journey of Tidus, Yuna, and their companions. It is on the slopes of Gagazet that the heroes must confront not only the physical challenges of the mountain, but also the weight of the Ronso's ancient legacy and the secrets that lie hidden within its icy depths. the tale of the Ronso and Mount Gagazet serves as a powerful reminder of the enduring strength of tradition, the power of honor and loyalty, and the unbreakable bonds that tie us to the natural world and the spirits of those who came before. It is a testament to the resilience of the Ronso people and the vital role they play in the rich tapestry of Spira's history and culture. In the world of Spira, summoners wield the power to call forth mighty spiritual entities known as Aeons, to aid them in their battle against sin and the fiends that plague the land. These Aeons are more than mere magical constructs or allies. They are the embodiment of the deep bond between the summoner and the faith, the souls of the faithful who have willingly sacrificed their lives to serve as eternal guardians of Spira. The origins of the faith and their Aeons can be traced back to the aftermath of the Machina War, when the people of Spira, desperate for a means to combat the destruction wrought by sin, turned to the ancient art of summoning. Through a sacred and irreversible ritual, certain individuals chose to become faith, forever sealing their souls within statues of stone. In doing so, these brave and selfless souls granted summoners the ability to call upon their power in the form of Aeons. Each faith gives rise to a powerful entity that reflects the personality, memories, and spiritual strength of the soul from which it was born. From the mighty dragon Bahamut to the swift and graceful Valfor, each Aeon is a testament to the depth of the faith's devotion and the summoner's unwavering resolve. The bond between summoner and faith is one of mutual trust, sacrifice, and understanding. In order to obtain an Aeon, a summoner must first prove their worth by completing the trials set forth by the faith within their temple. These trials are not merely tests of physical prowess or magical aptitude, but also profound spiritual journeys that challenge the summoner to confront their own doubts, fears, and limitations. Once the trial is complete and the faith deems the summoner worthy, a powerful bond is forged between the two, allowing the summoner to call upon the Aeon in times of need. This bond is not one of master and servant, but rather a deep and abiding partnership, a sacred covenant that transcends the boundaries of life and death. As the summoner and their guardians journey across Spira, battling sin and the fiends that threaten the people, the Aeon serve as their stalwart companions and protectors. In combat, the Aeons lend their strength and unique abilities to the summoner, unleashing devastating attacks and shielding their allies from harm. Yet the power of the Aeons comes at a great cost. The faith, though eternal, are not immune to the passage of time and the weight of their sacrifice. As the centuries pass, their souls can become weary and their statues weathered, weakening the bond between summoner and Aeon. It is only through the summoner's unwavering devotion and the faith's enduring spirit that this bond can be maintained, a testament to the unbreakable ties that bind the living and the dead in the world of Spira. The tale of the faith and their Aeons is one of sacrifice, hope, and the unending struggle against the darkness that threatens to engulf the world. It is a reminder of the power of the human spirit to endure and to find strength in the bonds we forge with others, even in the face of overwhelming odds. As the summoner and their Aeons stand united against sin, they become a beacon of hope for all of Spira, a shining example of the heights to which we can rise when we are guided by love, compassion, and an unshakable sense of purpose. Nestled between the towering peaks of Mount Gagazet and the lush forests of Macalania lies a vast, sprawling plain known as the Calm Lands. To the casual observer, this rolling expanse of grass and wildflowers may seem like a peaceful respite from the trials and dangers of a summoner's pilgrimage. However, beneath the tranquil surface lies a dark and bloody history, a testament to the terrible price paid for Spira's momentary periods of serenity. The Calm Lands were not always the quiet, unassuming region they are today. In ages past, during the height of the Machina War, this very same plain served as the stage for a cataclysmic battle between the Machina-wielding armies of Bhed and Zanarkand. Thousands upon thousands of soldiers, both human and Machina, clashed upon this blood-soaked field, their weapons rending the earth and darkening the skies with the smoke and ash of destruction. For days, the battle raged on, each side unleashing the full might of their technological arsenals in a desperate bid for victory. Towering Machina, their metal bodies gleaming in the sunlight, stomped across the plain, crushing all in their path. The ground shook with the impact of missiles and bombs, while the air crackled with the discharge of energy weapons and the screams of the dying. In the end, neither side could claim a true victory. The Machina lay shattered and broken, their once mighty forms reduced to rusting hulks scattered across the scarred landscape. The armies of Bhed and Zanarkand, utterly spent and decimated, retreated to their respective strongholds, leaving behind a plain soaked in the blood of the fallen and littered with the detritus of war. In the years that followed, as sin rose from the ashes of the conflict and began its reign of terror, the Calm Lands became a symbol of the folly and hubris of the Machina age. The people of Spira, now firmly under the sway of Yevon's teachings, came to see the plain as a reminder of the terrible price of their past sins and the necessity of atonement through the Summoner's pilgrimage. Yet even in the face of this grim history, life endured. Gradually, the scars of battle faded, and the Calm Lands once again became a place of peace and beauty. The tall grasses and colourful wildflowers reclaimed the once barren soil, while the gentle breezes carried away the lingering echoes of the fallen. For the summoners and their guardians who now traverse this ancient battlefield, the Calm Lands serve as a poignant reminder of the cyclical nature of Spira's struggle against sin. Each calm, brought about by a summoner's sacrifice, is but a fleeting respite in an endless war, a momentary peace purchased with the blood of the brave and the tears of the mourning. As the centuries passed, sin continued to plague the land, only to be reborn after each defeat. But one day, a mysterious man washed ashore on the island of Bhed, with no memory of his past life, save for his name, Jecht. Jecht soon discovered he had an uncanny talent for blitzball, and his skill drew the attention of the renowned summoner Braska. Braska, along with his loyal guardian Auron, was on a pilgrimage to obtain the final Aeon, the only power said to be able to defeat sin. Impressed by Jecht's bravery and strength, Braska asked him to become his second guardian. Together, the trio set out on their journey across Spira, facing trials and challenges at every turn. Jecht, a gruff and headstrong man, initially struggled to understand the customs and beliefs of Spira, but as time passed, he grew to love the land and its people. In Braska and Auron, he found true friends and brothers in arms. Their journey finally led them to the ancient city of Zanarkand, where Braska obtained the final Aeon and prepared for his ultimate battle against sin. Little did Jecht know, however, that his own fate was inexorably tied to that of Spira itself. Braska's decision to become a summoner was not an easy one, for he knew all too well the heavy burden that such a path entailed. As a man of deep faith and conviction, He had long been troubled by the suffering that sin inflicted upon the people of Spira, the endless cycle of death and destruction that seemed to have no end. In his heart, he knew that he could not stand idly by while his fellow Spirans lived in fear and despair, and so he made the decision to take up the mantle of summoner and embark upon a journey to defeat sin, no matter the cost. Yet Braska knew that he could not undertake such a perilous quest alone. A summoner's pilgrimage is a journey fraught with danger and uncertainty, and the support of skilled and loyal guardians is essential to their success. In Auron, a young warrior monk of Bhed, Braska found a kindred spirit, a man whose sense of duty and honor matched his own. Together, they began to plan for the trials that lay ahead, gathering supplies and honing their skills in preparation for the long road ahead. It was during this time that fate would bring a most unlikely guardian into their midst. Jecht, a blitzball player from the mysterious realm of Zanarkand, had suddenly appeared on the shores of Spira, with no memory of how he had arrived or the life he had left behind. Braska, sensing a deeper purpose behind Jecht's arrival, took the man under his wing, offering him a chance to find meaning and redemption in the service of a greater cause. With that, let's go back to where Jecht's journey began. In the shimmering city of Dream Zanarkand, a metropolis that never sleeps, there was no name more synonymous with blitzball glory than that of Jecht. A legend in his own time, Jecht's prowess in the sphere pool was unmatched. His fluid, almost dance-like movements and seemingly impossible shots, captivating fans and devastating opponents in equal measure. For Jecht, blitzball was more than just a game. It was his lifeblood, the very essence of his being. From a young age, he had devoted himself to the sport, honing his skills with a single-minded determination that bordered on obsession. As he rose through the ranks, his fame grew, and soon he was not just a star player, but the face of the entire sport, a living embodiment of the speed, grace, and power that made blitzball the beloved pastime of Zanarkand. Yet for all his success on the field, Jecht's personal life was a far more complicated affair. He was a man torn between the demands of his career and the responsibilities of family, a struggle that often left him feeling trapped and restless. His wife, a gentle soul who had fallen in love with the brash young athlete, found herself increasingly relegated to the sidelines of her husband's life, a spectator to his triumphs and struggles. And then there was Tidus, Jecht's young son, a boy who had inherited his father's love for the game. For Tidus, growing up in the shadow of a legend was a heavy burden to bear, his every effort on the blitzball field inevitably compared to the impossible standard set by his father. Jecht, for his part, was a harsh and demanding parent, his expectations for his son's performance often exceeding what any child could reasonably be expected to achieve. As the years passed, the strain on Jecht's family grew ever more pronounced, the gulf between father and son widening with each missed goal and each harsh word spoken in frustration. Tidus, desperate for his father's approval, but increasingly resentful of his overbearing presence, began to pull away, seeking solace in the company of his friends and the endless hours of practice that he hoped would one day make him a star in his own right. It was during this time of personal turmoil that Jecht's life would take a most unexpected turn. On the eve of a major blitzball tournament, the star player disappeared without a trace, vanishing into the night as if he had never existed at all. For Tidus and his mother, the loss was a devastating blow, a void that could never be filled. In the weeks and months that followed, they struggled to come to terms with Jecht's absence, their grief and confusion compounded by the lack of answers or closure. Unbeknownst to his family, Jecht's disappearance was no mere accident, but rather the result of forces far beyond his control. Swept away from the dream world of Zanarkand, he found himself stranded in the strange and unfamiliar land of Spira, a world haunted by the spectre of sin and the endless cycle of death and rebirth. As Jecht struggled to come to terms with his new reality, he found himself drawn into the orbit of Lord Braska, a summoner on a quest to defeat sin and bring peace to the land. In Braska and his guardian Auron, Jecht found a new purpose and a chance for redemption, his skills as a warrior and his unbreakable spirit proving invaluable assets in the battles to come. In the tapestry of stories that make up the rich history of Spira, few figures are as important as the legendary guardian Auron. A man of unwavering conviction and unbreakable spirit, Auron's journey from a young warrior monk of Bhed to a pivotal figure in the battle against sin is one of the most compelling and enigmatic tales in the annals of Spira's history. Born into a family of devout followers of Yevon, Auron was raised in the heart of Bhed, the center of the church's power and influence. From an early age, he was trained in the arts of combat and the teachings of Yevon, his natural talents and fierce dedication, marking him as a rising star within the ranks of the warrior monks. As he grew into a young man, Auron's reputation as a skilled fighter and a man of unshakable integrity spread throughout Bhed and beyond. He was known for his unwavering loyalty to the teachings of Yevon and his fierce determination to protect the innocent from the threat of sin and the fiends that plagued the land. It was during this time that Auron first made the acquaintance of Braska, a young summoner with a vision of a world free from the tyranny of sin. Drawn to Braska's compassion and quiet strength, Auron found himself questioning the rigid doctrines of Yevon and the role of the church in perpetuating the cycle of death and rebirth that had long held Spira in its grip. As Braska began to plan his pilgrimage to defeat sin, Auron made the decision to leave behind the life he had known in Bhed and join the summoner as his guardian. It was a choice that would forever alter the course of Auron's life, setting him on a path of sacrifice, redemption, and ultimate transcendence. Throughout the long and perilous journey of Braska's pilgrimage, Auron served as a steadfast protector and loyal friend, his sword and his wisdom invaluable assets in the face of the countless trials and challenges that lay ahead. Along with Jecht, the unlikely guardian from the dream world of Zanarkand, Auron formed an unbreakable bond with Braska, their shared purpose and unwavering commitment to one another, a shining example of the power of friendship and faith. Yet even as they journeyed closer to their ultimate goal, Auron could sense the growing unease that gnawed at his heart. He had seen firsthand the corruption and hypocrisy that lay at the heart of Yevon's teachings, the callous disregard for the lives of the summoners and their guardians who sacrificed everything in the name of a fleeting calm. As they faced the final battles of their pilgrimage and the terrible truth of sin's origin, Auron found himself grappling with a crisis of faith and purpose. In the aftermath of Braska's sacrifice and Jecht's transformation, he emerged a changed man, his once unshakable beliefs shattered by the weight of the revelations that had been laid bare before him. Yet even in the face of this profound disillusionment, Auron's sense of duty and loyalty never wavered. Bound by the promises he had made to his fallen comrades, he set out on a new mission, determined to find a way to break the cycle of sin's rebirth and bring a lasting peace to the people of Spira. For years, Auron wandered the land as an unsent, his physical form sustained by the sheer force of his will and the depth of his devotion to the oaths he had sworn. He watched over Tidus, the son of Jecht, guiding the young man's steps from afar and preparing him for the role he would play in the battles to come. And when the time was right, Auron emerged from the shadows once more, a figure of legend and mystery, to stand alongside a new generation of summoners and guardians in their quest to defeat sin and uncover the truth behind the lies of Yevon. In the face of death and the heavy toll of years, the strength of his will remained inexhaustible, a testament to the unbreakable spirit of the remarkable and enigmatic man who was Sir Auron. When it came to Jecht, though, even as he embraced his role as a guardian, he could not escape the shadows of his past. The memory of his family, of the son he had left behind, and the life he had abandoned, weighed heavily upon his heart, a constant reminder of the price he had paid for his new calling. In the quiet moments between battles and the long hours of the night, he would often find himself lost in thought, wondering if he would ever find his way back to the dream world he had once called home. For Tidus, the years that followed his father's disappearance were a time of pain and bitterness, the wound of abandonment festering into a deep-seated resentment. Even as he threw himself into his blitzball training with a renewed fervor, determined to step out of his father's shadow and forge his own path, he could not shake the feeling that he would never truly be free of Jecht's legacy. It would be many years before the truth of Jecht's fate would be revealed. The story of his journey in Spira and his ultimate sacrifice in the battle against sin, forever changing the course of Tidus's own destiny. Yet even in the face of this revelation, the scars of the past would linger, a testament to the enduring power of the bonds between father and son, and the long shadow that Jecht's life in Zanarkand would cast over the events to come. At first, Jecht was hesitant, unsure of his place in this strange new world and the role he was being asked to play. But as he spent more time with Braska and Auron, he began to see the strength of their bond and the depth of their commitment to their mission. Slowly but surely, Jecht began to embrace his own role as a guardian, his natural athleticism and quick wit proving invaluable assets in the face of the many challenges they would face. As the trio set out on their pilgrimage, they quickly realized that the road ahead would be anything but easy. From the scorching deserts of Bikanel Island to the icy peaks of Mount Gagazet, they faced countless trials and tribulations, battling fiends of every shape and size, and braving the harsh elements of Spira's unforgiving landscape. Yet through it all, the bond between Braska, Auron, and Jecht only grew stronger. In the face of adversity, they found solace and strength in each other's company. Their laughter and camaraderie, a balm for the wounds of both body and soul. Auron, ever the stoic warrior, found himself opening up in ways he never had before, his respect and admiration for Braska deepening with each passing day. Jecht, too, underwent a profound transformation, his once selfish heart slowly awakening to the needs of others and the true meaning of sacrifice. But even as they grew closer, the spectre of their journey's end loomed ever larger on the horizon. Braska, knowing full well the price that a summoner must pay to defeat sin, struggled with the weight of his destiny, the knowledge that his life would be the final offering in the battle against the beast. Auron and Jecht, too, grappled with the implications of their friend's fate, their hearts heavy with the burden of the sacrifices yet to come. As they journeyed closer to Zanarkand and the culmination of their quest, the trio's resolve was tested like never before. In the heart of the ruined city, they confronted the truth of sin's origin and the terrible choice that lay before them. In the end, it was Braska's unwavering faith and the strength of their bond that saw them through. His final summoning, a testament to the power of love and sacrifice in the face of even the greatest of evils. Though Braska's tale would end in tragedy, his legacy would live on in the hearts and minds of all those who knew him. For Auron and Jecht, the memory of their friend and the lessons he had taught them would become a guiding light in the dark days ahead, a reminder of the unbreakable spirit that had carried them through the trials of their pilgrimage. And so, dear listeners, we come to the end of our journey through the rich and complex history of Spira. From the shining cities of the ancient past to the dark and troubled times of sin's reign, we have explored the events, characters, and themes that shape the unforgettable tale of Final Fantasy X. We have seen the rise and fall of great civilizations, the clash of mighty armies, and the eternal struggle between the forces of light and darkness. We have delved into the mysteries of the Farplane and the pyreflies, the origins of the Aeons and the faith, and the hidden truths that lie beneath the surface of the world. Through the stories of Braska, Jecht, and Auron, we have witnessed the power of friendship, sacrifice, and the unbreakable bonds that tie us together across the boundaries of life and death. We have traced the path of the summoner's pilgrimage, from the sun-drenched islands of Bhed to the icy peaks of Gagazet, and marveled at the courage and determination of those who would give their lives to bring hope to the people of Spira. And in the tales of the Bhed, the Ronso, and the other diverse cultures that call this world home, we have seen the beauty and richness of a land shaped by the interplay of history, tradition, and the enduring spirit of its people. Yet for all the darkness and sorrow that we have encountered on this journey, there is also light and hope to be found in the world of Spira. In the unbreakable spirit of the summoners and their guardians, in the quiet moments of love and laughter that illuminate even the bleakest of times, and in the unwavering belief that one day the dream of the eternal calm will become a reality. As we look back on the long and winding road that has brought us to this moment, we are reminded of the enduring power of stories to shape our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. In the tales of Spira and its people, we find echoes of our own struggles and triumphs, our own hopes and fears, and the universal truths that bind us together as one human family. And so, as we bid farewell to the world of Final Fantasy X, let us carry with us the lessons and the wisdom that we have gained on this journey. Let us remember the courage of Braska, the loyalty of Auron, and the unbreakable spirit of Jecht. Though the road ahead may be long and the battles hard fought, we know that as long as we hold true to the ideals and the dreams that unite us, there is no challenge that we cannot overcome, no darkness that we cannot banish with the light of our shared humanity. And so, my friends, let us go forth from this place with hearts full of hope and minds alight with the wisdom of the ages. Let us carry the story of Spira and its people with us always, a shining beacon to guide us through the trials and the triumphs that lie ahead. And let us never forget the power of the human spirit to endure, to overcome, and to find the light that shines eternal, even in the darkest of times. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history and lore of Final Fantasy X. May the tales of Spira and its people inspire you always, and may the dreams of the summoners and their guardians live on forever in your hearts. Until we meet again, dear listeners, fare you well.